The President's Award recognizes those who have made outstanding contributions to furthering the work or mission of the Federation. The purpose is to recognize and encourage important contributions to improving the lives of children with special needs and their families. This year's recipient, Ron Benham, is certainly highly deserving of this award. Ron received a Bachelor of Science from the University of the Ozarks, as well as a Master of Divinity and a Master of Education degree from Princeton Theological Seminary and the University of Massachusetts, respectively. Ron's professional experience includes over 40 years in public health, focusing on early education and care for children with special health needs. Ron is the former director of the Bureau of Family Health and Nutrition at the Massachusetts Department of Public Health. Prior to becoming Bureau Director, he was and remained the State Director, Part C Coordinator for the Massachusetts Early Intervention System until his retirement in February. The Early Intervention Program cumulatively serves more than 40,000 infants and toddlers in the family. I'm guessing that many of us in this room benefited from early intervention services supporting our children and our families. Raise your hands if you were involved with early intervention. Thank you, Ron. Over the course of 35 years in state government, Ron has gained significant expertise in the utilization of insurance coverage for early intervention services and has presented at numerous state and national conferences and training sessions on this topic. With Ron's leadership, the Massachusetts Department of Public Health Early Intervention Program has benefited very significantly from payer participation from both publicly funded Medicaid programs as well as statewide private insurance participations since the late 1980s. More importantly, Ron has a deep compassion for the families served by early intervention and has dedicated his career to ensuring that necessary services reach all families, especially those who are most in need. We are very pleased to recognize Ron Benham tonight with the Federation's President's Award.
Thank you, Ann, for that wonderful introduction. First, I would say thank you to the Federation, its board of directors, whoever people were in the decision-making part of granting this award to me. I'm both humbled and honored by it, especially if you look in your program for past recipients. So I do have a few words to say, and I'm going to read both. It's partially a little narrative piece, but it's also a little bit of poetry that's mixed in. And I'm dedicating this to Rich, who we have been partners in crime, I would say, for decades. I don't know we don't go back probably the whole 35 years, but we go back plenty. And it's just been a wonderful relationship and collegial relationship we've had, and I'm very honored to have always worked with him. I'm also going to dedicate this to someone I've been in partnership with since I was born, which is my sister Sue. She can raise her hand. Sue is here. You may say, where is the University of the Ozarks? It's actually in Clarksville, Arkansas. And Sue lives in Fort Smith, Arkansas, and made the trek up specifically to come to this event. So I'm very pleased that she's here. So this is a piece called Federation Dreaming. for Rich and Sister Sue. I am an Arkansas kid from a tiny town, an idealized childhood of roaming on your own without worry. But in this time of America's injustice, talking about my own childhood and insensitivity, this Arkansas kid was raised respectful of authority, but also raised in a church and a youth where civil rights and mistreatment or hiding of those with challenges itself was not challenged. Think about the Little Rock Nine facing down snarling anger in the then called state motto, the land of opportunity. Think about, if you're of that vintage, Vietnam roaring. And then, for me, a mid-70s wash ashore on Cape Cod, a pilgrim of another sort, my first connections to the Department of Public Health and the Children and Youth with Special Needs program, and also seeking to intervene early. I also remember the early days of the Federation, a federation of prophetic and feisty women. I remember Martha Ziegler, Barbara Popper, Janet Voss, Evelyn Houseline, Nora Wells, and Betsy Anderson, among others, and had the pleasure of working with all of them. They were kind, they were generous, they were considerate, and they were fierce. And I would stress the fierce part, militant in their belief that individual differences in people are a natural part of our lives, that disabilities or challenges provide children and adults with unique perspectives. These are the women, along with my parents, who schooled me both personally and professionally with messages of dignity and challenge, and stands taken by the Federation's advocacy to protect the rights of children to equal health and educational opportunities, both in this Commonwealth and more broadly in this nation. These women and others lived out a creed to serve the people, but always with good humor and laughter that has and will sustain us in those and these current dark times. Let me close now because I was told to be brief. Then I was told I could say whatever I wanted, so this is the presidential awardee. Let me close thanking you again with these words. Embrace and celebrate the Federation, reflecting on this unique creation and organization. And I know in terms of what I am saying to you, preaching to the choir, all of you urge your reinforcement of prior commitments to social and educational justice for those most vulnerable and in need. And always again, remember this: we stand on giants' shoulders who built the path on which we walk with families, advocates, lawyers, doctors, and yes, even a little bit of government bureaucrats, but I always like to say advocrat. Let us still walk arm in arm as we continue walking with eyes on the prize and sharing with all of those tonight. Should anyone fall behind, we will always wait for you. And thank you again for this wonderful honor.